Welcome, Growth Tribe, to another Facebook training tutorial brought to you by Global Social Media Marketing. Today, we're going to talk about Facebook ads reporting and the different ways that we can look at the data within our Ads Manager account and also create customized ad reporting that we can get delivered weekly to us so that we can have that information available. So if we're in our Business Manager account, we can go into our ads account. Today, we're going to be using Medicine Hands. They're one of our clients. They're a massage therapy, a medical massage company here based in Denver, Colorado. And we had started some initial campaigns. If you've seen any of our earlier videos, we did some likes campaigns. We created some like campaigns to build up their page. And to start building a targeted, relevant audience for them as they create content and to begin to kind of move people into the funnel with an initial fan base and then ultimately try to drive them to be customers. So one of the campaigns that we've been running for them is a general hospital and cancer awareness. They are offering medical massage or acupuncture as an alternative form of medicine to people that might have cancer or people that have, had a traumatic surgery or a lymphatic, something like that. They would need their services. So, if we wanted to go and check some of the reporting on the likes campaign that we're running, we can be in this main user interface of where the Ads Manager's account, we can see things. What I want to talk about today is looking at some different ways to customize these things. So as a default, Facebook gives you performance, but then we can see here at the bottom right here, customize columns. If we click on that, we can actually decide from Facebook what the different types of metrics that we want. So for today's purposes, I'm going to remove some of these. It's a likes campaign. So campaign name, I would probably want to know, delivery, the ad set name. Bid strategy, not relevant for us right now. Budget, we might actually want to keep that one. So I might come back up here, make sure that one's selected. Last significant edit, I'm going to show you a creative way to look at that. Results, we could have that. Reach and impressions, I think, are good. Cost per result, amount spent. That's usually what you use for what you're spending on Facebook versus cost. It's actually amount spend. Ends, that tells us when the ad campaign is going to end in the schedule, of course, of the time. Relevant score is a metric that Facebook uses to say, hey, this ad on a scale of 1 to 10 is this relevant, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. So the more relevant our ad, in theory, the better it should perform from a cost perspective. So we want our ads to be more relevant, and we can only see a relevance score at the ad level. Remember when we talk about Facebook ads, the different types of structure, and it's in the 3 main structures are at the campaign level, and then within the campaigns, we have our ad sets, and then within our ad sets, we have ads. So relevance score is only able to see at the ad level, but this is a great metric to kind of see because we can see, maybe we need to make an adjustment to an image, maybe we need to change the copy, and then ultimately the third decision might be we might need to change the audience. So that relevance score would definitely help us. Page likes we'll keep, again, because we're running a likes campaign, and then budget. We might also go in here and just kind of quickly look at the different types of things. So, we're running a likes campaign. So clicks, it's not relevant. We're not driving anyone to a website. Page likes, we've already got that checked. We might want to know what the cost per page like is. So that might be a good metric to add. Video views might be relevant if we were running a video ad. We might want to see, how many people are watching that video for as far as like video views are concerned. We're not doing any app stuff, so we don't really need to worry about that. And I think this looks pretty good for us for a likes campaign. Now, obviously, we could add some different things. I'm not going to go into that in today's video, but if you were running, for example, a traffic campaign, right? We were driving people to our website or a landing page. We might want to know, we might have a different funnel, for example. We might have clicks, we might have leads, and then we might have sales. But for today, really what we're driving in this campaign is likes. So we're going to leave our customer report like that. So we've got everything that we've checked that we've wanted to report on for our objective. Then we can come down here and we can click this save as preset, and we can actually save this report. So if we're running a weekly likes report that we're going to be showing our client every week, we might save this as Medicine Hands weekly likes report. And then we can press apply. And see, now we've got that column. So if we go and refresh this, just to make sure that it's saved, we can go up here to columns, and now we can see that our report was created. So when we click on that report, now we've got all those different metrics. So, for today's video, I wanted to show the custom feature because I believe that while the performance is a great default feature to have, really, when you talk about it from a Facebook reporting, you need to focus on those types of funnel things that I mentioned, and you can get a little bit more granular. So, we've done that. So now that anytime in the future we want to just go and get those metrics, we can do that. So we can see all that's there. So we can see, our page likes, for example. We've gotten 421 page likes for 78 cents over from the 23rd to the 24th in the last 30 days. We could also change the time up here in the right-hand corner. We could change it for lifetime, today, yesterday. We're doing weekly reporting. So, usually our client, for example, they want Friday. So we would do a Thursday to Thursday. So we'll do last week's report as an example. So today is, so we want to do the 15th to the 22nd. So this will give us our reporting numbers for last week. And then we can go and we could decide to export this if we wanted to, or we could email this to us. So here's an export option right here where we could click that, and then we could come and we could do it as a CSV. CSV, in my experience, works pretty well. You could also come over here. You could share this link or whatever. So this is really step one in how you would want to look at the reports. And when I look at this data, I would want to come in and I would want to kind of play around with this. So I want to show you some other quick little tips here before I get into how to automate this. So let's say we want to look at the performance of this campaign, right? We see, for example, $1 here, 72. So we know that this one's performing well, but we might want to try to figure out what's going on here. So we would click in the campaign, and then at the ad set level, we see that we've got one ad set functioning. And this is something that we can kind of see that might not be as easy to see in other parts of our straight data. So once we click into that ad set and we click edit, we can now kind of scroll down in here, and we could see, all of the different things that are set up with projections and whatnot. But let's say that we want to see our history changes. We can go in there. We can see if there was anything changed in the campaign. So it looks like nothing was changed last week. But if we wanted to change, for example, from the 18th to the 22nd, we could see the exact changes. So we can see that our digital marketing manager, Rashawn, made a change exactly on March 8th at 11:33. So that's a nice little feature. That way, if you've got multiple people kind of updating the ads, we can all be on the same page. No changes were made last week. But really, we want to look now a little bit more into the demographics of this. So on this left-hand side, at the ad set level again, we can see history changes. We can see the actual content, but then we can see some of the demographic performance. So we can see, again, we got 94 page likes, reached 4,362 people at 96.25. So at about $1 per result. Then we can actually kind of see by day, right? We can see, for example, that we had a spike on the 19th. We had 16 page likes at a much lower cost per result. So that's good. We might be kind of curious to know, why did that happen on Thursday, right? Is it because most of people are on Facebook or our audience is on Facebook at that time? Maybe we should be optimizing our ad spend to be a little bit higher on that day if it's performing well. Then we might come over, we might look into demographics. We can see for this ad set, for example, that we had 90% of the audience was women based and 10% was men based. And then we can go and we can click into the different age groups, right? And kind of see, are there any outliers where maybe it just perfectly makes sense only to kind of, be targeting that one audience. So if we were going to look at this ad, right, and we were going to go back and we're say, okay, what adjustments could we make from this past week? We might decide to go back to the ad and say, okay, 90% of the people that liked our page were women. So let's go back to edit and let's scroll down to the targeting. We could see our different targeting that we've done. But then we can see also that we did not have this, I believe, as women. So we could come back here. We've done male and women. So maybe if I was going to kind of try to optimize things, another good rule of thumb I like to teach people is that if you're going to make any significant changes to something, maybe duplicate it first. Very easy, duplicate. It will ask you for the campaign. And then you can just duplicate that ad set and then make that change. The reason for that is because if you change something at an ad level or ad set level, then it's going to be really hard for us later on to know, exactly why something performed the way it did. Whereas if we start something fresh, we could always go back and pause this campaign, right? Or reduce the budget and test the new thing and test it out for a few days and then see if it's working or not. It just kind of gives it a fresh data set so that we know for sure that data that's showing is for that exact audience that we have. So there's some quick little, adjustments. I think the other things obviously that I mentioned besides looking at the actual image. So, here we could see this was marked as low quality. And, why is that? We might look into, was it something to do with the video itself, or is it because maybe, in this case, it says to improve your health. As far as Facebook's concerned, they do have regulations on personal attributes. We're not supposed to be talking about people's, actual attributes. So maybe that's why this is getting flagged. So maybe this is why this isn't performing better, right? If we're getting a notification like this is telling us we need to make some type of change or optimization in order to make this ad perform better. So we could change the copy in here. We could change the video. There's just different ways that we would want to test that. So there's some different ways to kind of look at how you would go about looking at the data, setting up some customized reporting that we can do. Last thing I want to quickly end this video with is how we could kind of automate this process. Once we've got that nice report set up, we can go into the top left here and then go to tools. And then we can go over to ads reporting. Once we click on ads reporting, we can actually go in and create that same report and automate it so that we receive it. So let's say that we want to go ahead and call this one Medicine Hands Likes Advertising Weekly Reporting. So we'll do confirm. And then from there, we could go and we can select, we can kind of filter by the things that we need. So we've got the breakdowns here, right? That's what we saw earlier. But we want to, for example, we only want to show that one ad set, one campaign that we were talking about earlier, which was the General Hospital. So we could go in here and we can add filters now. So we can say the campaign name, and we could change that, right? We could change it for whatever we're looking for, but we'll do campaign name contains General Hospital and cancer ad. So now we've got that. And then from there, we've only got one ad set, which is the arm video massage. So maybe we would take this a step further and say arm video massage. Now we've got that populated, okay. And then from there, we can kind of just add anything else that we want. If we want to add the results, the objective, amount spent, these are all really good things. The other way that we could do this is just over here on the left. So looking at campaign, ad, delivery, and just kind of looking at some of these other things. But what we want to look at is the metrics. So frequency would be the number of times the person saw that. That might be relevant. We might want to know results, reach, delivery, amount spent. Okay, this is all looking good. Cost per result. We want that page likes. We want the cost per page like in there. And again, if we were running a video ad, maybe we want to add in a video. And we don't have any apps. We're not doing any conversions or sales here. You can see there's a lot of stuff in here. You can really get super granular and detailed. A lot of these things I think are very relevant for an e-commerce company that's trying to look at a bandage shop or cart checkouts or filling in their email. So that's really good. But I think for what our campaign is today, right, we're looking at reach, impressions, number of times, our likes. We want to know how many likes did that campaign get? How much did it cost? And the cost for that result, and how much did we spend? And again, we could do that by time. So let's say we're delivering our new report now to Medicine Hands from last week. We've gone and we've selected the dates, and then we can save this. So then we'll save. After the report is saved, we can also schedule an email. So let's say we want a weekly, and our digital marketing manager, Rashawn, has to report on this every Friday. So he gets an email of this report sent to him so that he has Thursday night to look at it and draft up the insights with enough time to deliver. And we'll save it. And let's just make sure that it's saved. I just like to kind of double check it. And now that report should be good to go, so that if we go back to ads reporting, we can now see that we have a weekly automated report that we can go in and we can go into the ads reporting, or we can email it to ourselves or to anyone else so that we can get that. And one last thing to kind of close with this video, I think when you're looking at all this data, this is something that I was reporting for our client. Some of these are some other benchmarks that you can use. You can look at the Facebook page insights, right? Which is just going to the Facebook page and kind of seeing how that page is performing. I think that's also a good idea to look at when you're doing ads reporting, right? We want to look at, if we're Medicine Hands and we go in, what is the back end look like of that? Does it have any data? And it's going to show us these types of things. And then kind of just go in and look at the ads, right? So, is your post reach up? How much is it costing? If we're running a page likes campaign, how many likes did that get? I think that's all really good, relevant information. And there is no one way to look at the data. I think when you talk about looking at data in general, you need to have an analytical mindset. But ultimately, what we're trying to do when we do reporting is we want to know those high level things for our funnel. Be able to adjust our images, our edit, our copy, or change our audiences and test and figure out what works best so that we can optimize things going forward. So this has been another training video brought to you by Global Social Media Marketing. Please take the time to subscribe to our YouTube channel below, and feel free to leave any comments or questions about this video. I'd be happy to help any other one out there that's trying to learn how to deliver better reporting. Thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.